I asked Fox to marry me, and she agreed. We eloped ultimately, and ended up going to a small chapel down in Kissimmee, St. Cloud, Florida, where we married. After we married, we bungee jumped in an effort to consummate our marriage. And 6 months in, within 6 months, we had not only bought a home, started a family, but we found ourselves facing 297 years in prison for trying to salvage a business venture to open up what would be our hometown's first hip-hop clothing store. It was called Culture. And so this robbery that we committed was after an investor pulled out on us and kind of left us high and dry, holding the bag. And in a moment of desperation, we had a child of ours, our third oldest child, took sick with some life-threatening or what appeared to be life-threatening ailments. Doctors couldn't figure out what the problem was, and we panicked in a moment. And called ourselves trying to create something that we thought would be a fix to our problem, but it turned out that it wasn't a fix, but it was actually a hell of a blow that had been delivered to our relationship. And like I said, after going through trial, after going through all of the processes, we ended up out of those 297 years being sentenced to 60 years in prison myself, 45 years respectively for my nephew, and 19 years for Fox, all of whom were first-time felony offenders in a crime that even the victims in the crimes were only calling for a 10-year bid. And the district attorneys sidestepped the pleas of the victims, and ultimately ended up taking us to trial due to an overzealous prosecutor as well as a money-hungry attorney. We found that it was the perfect gumbo that set up disaster. A disastrous moment for us. And as a result of it, we would spend the next 21 years and 4 days fighting to try to right a wrong. And like I said, Fox had the presence of mind throughout all of that to document what that experience was like as a single parent mother, having to get up and get her kids on the road at 3 o'clock in the morning and journey down to Angola State Penitentiary, to where I was housed, and visit us and try to make some piece of what it is that we had created for ourselves, and trying to figure out, well, how do we as a family navigate this experience now? So that experience, every year we approach the experience thinking, okay, this was going to be the year that we were going to be able to right the wrong. And we would get to the end of the year and find out that the courts had closed down and we had not got no further out of the situation than anything. And then we would start the next year, and this year is going to be the year that we bring this home, and we're going to be back, and Daddy's going to be there, and I'll be at football games, I'll be at swim meets, I'll be at boxing events and all of that. And again, the year would come to a close. And we've done that for 21 years. And can you imagine the level of insanity, that people, must think that you be going through in order to think that this is the year that you're going to come home, when nothing on the ethers is saying that this is the time that you go home. And so, that was kind of some of the backdrop or the backstory in terms of how we went from being high school sweethearts, eloping and getting married, and then facing serious prison time.
And so for me, I would probably just add in there that one of the things that I think most when I think about scars is that I try to take them for what they are worth in the learning moments that they offer us on life's journey. But I don't sit in my scars. And so I know when people see Rob and I, they think, it couldn't have been that bad. They're too happy. Or, couldn't have been that bad. We never want to give the impression that it wasn't that bad. Don't mistaken our joy for as a way of really taking away from how horrible the experience was that we went through. But just like our ancestors found joy in their heart when they went through some of the most extreme circumstances known to mankind, we do the same. Because as Rob says in Time 2, that I think is so befitting.
Just whenever an oppressed people intentionally create moments of pleasure, it is considered an act of resistance. So it's through our joy that we resist. It's through our love that we resist, the pain and the hardships that we're going through.
So I just say to your viewers that, the scars, just the fact that you got over them, got through them, that's a reason to rejoice and to rest in that joy and let that joy guide you. To go through these things, you've got to understand the why. And, but I didn't know the why. I just had to understand that there was a why. And one day it may be revealed to me in a way that I can understand. But I mean, when you say that you broke the law, but you took $5,000, and for that penalty, the retribution that the state seeks is a practical life sentence against your loved ones and you. When I was going up before the courts, even myself, they sentenced my husband to 60 years. Our fall partner, which was my husband's nephew, they sentenced him to 45 years. He wasn't even 20 years old, didn't even have a weapon. And then they wanted to sentence me to 40 years for dropping them off near the bank. So when you...
Say that part again.
They wanted to send me... They offered me 40 years as a plea deal.
Right.
For dropping them off
Near
away from the bank.
Right.
Not at the bank, not at the front door of the bank, but away near the bank.
Right.
And so when you think about those things, you have no clue. Why, God, are you calling me for this? I know I've done wrong. I'm willing to address my transgressions, but why is the state that I love, that raised me, acting in such a heinous manner toward me and my family? And so I think that you just have to keep knowing that there is a why, and the why will be revealed on the other side.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So that was it for me, is just not being clear that I had no clue why this was transpiring in my life to this degree. But I know that all things work for the highest good, and in knowing that, as a matter of fact, I'll share this with you, Mr. Seals, our son, Remington, he is our eldest son. And when I got
Picture
ready.
that. Remington, Steele.
Yeah.
That's where she got the name from, actually.
And so when I was about to prepare to leave to go to prison, and I had taken my plea deal and was about to leave to go to prison, I had 4 children at the time. My eldest son was 6, about to turn 7. My second oldest was 3. The twin boys were 10 months old at the time. And so for me, when I pull Remington on a one-on-one to say, listen, I'm actually going to have to go to prison. I'm going to have to leave you. And not only that, I'm going to need you to step in and be man of the house while your father and I are away in prison, and help your grandmother with your 3 younger siblings. He's not even 7.